Child witnesses his mother getting shot overnight. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres has this story. He's live for us at Vanderbilt Medical Center where that victim is being treated. And is she improving at all, or had they told you anything, Matthew?
So far, we know that she is recovering here at Vanderbilt, being treated for serious injuries. From what Metro Police tell us, that she was shot in the hand. That bullet went right through it and into her thigh. So no doubt a startling news, knowing that her 12-year-old son was forced to call 911 after she was shot. This is so far what Metro Police have been able to tell us. This happened around 11 o'clock last night inside the home in Madison, located in the 3000 block of Chesapeake Drive. According to police, the victim's on and off boyfriend, that is 30-year-old Reggie McLean, went over to the house to talk about their relationship. Again, they were on and off for about a good year. Apparently, it just did not go well as it should have been, because he allegedly took out a revolver and shot her, and that's when the bullet went through her hand and into her thigh. The son, again, 12-year-old son, called police, but whenever they arrived, the victim and the shooter were already gone, and here at Vanderbilt together, treating her injuries. He was later taken into custody by Vanderbilt police, and at this point, he is still being booked into jail, where he's now charged with attempted homicide and unlawful possession of a weapon. As far as the son, he is doing fine and staying with a relative. That's it for now. We're reporting live outside Vanderbilt Medical Center this morning. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Matthew, thank you. New details this morning about a tragic crash that killed a driver stranded on the side of the road. Police say that Emily Wilkerson was having car trouble on Sam Ridley Parkway in Smyrna. Another driver, a Good Samaritan, stopped to help, both of them standing outside of their cars when they were hit by an SUV. Wilkerson was killed. The other driver was rushed to the hospital. No word yet on his condition or if the SUV driver is going to be facing any charges. A driver had to be rescued after getting trapped inside a crashed car. It went off Bell Road and hit a utility pole near Brent Ridge Drive around 7 last night. The utility pole snapped in half. The rescue crews had to cut the driver from the car. They say the driver's injuries were serious, but the driver's expected to survive. No word yet what caused that accident. Well, a possible shakeup this morning in the Vanderbilt rape case. Lawyers for convicted rapist Corey Beatty have filed a motion that appears to be the first step in what they say could lead to a mistrial. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley has been following this morning, and another twist in this ongoing case. Cuthbert.
Steve, here we go again. You're exactly right to call it another twist, because that appears to what it is. Right now, the judge will be hearing the case around 9 this morning, hearing the motion, I should say. It's basically focusing on the beginnings of the trial itself. We're talking jury selection. The attorneys for Corey Beatty, one of the defendants in this who was convicted of rape, wants to see the transcripts of that jury selection, because there is word that the jury foreman may have misrepresented the fact that he may have been a victim of sexual assault. Keep in mind, this is a rape case, so obviously anytime you're talking about sexual assault, it is an important point to discuss. Warwick Robinson, who is the attorney for Beatty, says that the court has been delaying bringing those transcripts to his office so that he can read through and exactly figure out what's going on with the case itself. What he wants to look at the specific questions that were asked and how they were answered by the potential jurors. So what they're doing right now today at 9 o'clock is they're going to be asking the judge to expedite the process of preparing those transcripts for his office. The sentencing date for Beatty and for Brandon Vandenberg is April 26th, so obviously they need to have time to look through all of that if they are going to file a mistrial claim. That could happen. We don't know exactly what will become of this motion hearing, but we do know it basically centers on that jury foreman who may, according to Warwick Robinson, may have misrepresented himself as a sexual assault victim. We'll closely follow the story throughout the day, but for now, we're live here in downtown Nashville this morning. I'm Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
Cuthbert, thank you. And new this morning for you, an escaped inmate is no longer escaped. The Kentucky New Era reporting that Russell Edwards escaped yesterday while on a job detail at the Christian County landfill. He just kind of walked off the job and then was later able to get into a white Pontiac and take off. They found him, though. He's been charged with burglary, escape, contempt of court, and a parole violation. He'll be in court later today. Stealing from charities and now facing serious charges. Christopher Phillips of Lafayette was booked into the Macon County Jail yesterday. He was indicted on several charges of theft. Officials say he stole money while working at a bank. TBI agents have been investigating Phillips since April of last year for diverting funds from 3 different nonprofits into his personal bank account. He was released after posting a $3,000 bond. And a former elementary school bookkeeper is also in jail, accused of stealing thousands of dollars in school money for her personal use. Shannon Williams worked at Elsie Patton Elementary in Mount Juliet. An investigation began after she was fired. Officials found an Amazon receipt with personal purchases in her office. As they were going through the office, that's when they notified the proper authorities and conducted the investigation. It was discovered she had used more than $8,000 of the school money for personal use. She's been charged on 1 count of theft and official misconduct. Well, the loved ones of a 19-year-old girl shot and killed at a party in Clarksville over the weekend are raising money for her funeral. Ariana Spencer and another person were shot early Sunday morning at a party. Spencer died. Police do have a possible suspect, but they're not giving details. The family has created a GoFundMe page for donations. The link's on our website at newschannel5.com. Happening later today, a teenage boy will appear in court after he was arrested yesterday, accused of abusing his own dog. We've got the disturbing video here. It comes after this incident was posted on Facebook, sparking outrage from animal lovers. Here he tosses the dog into the air, misses a couple of times, and the dog hits the ground. Neighbors say it's not the first time the boy's abused the animal. Rutherford County PAWS is investigating and should reach a decision soon.
The little boy can get some help out of this too, you know, and the little dog hopefully can find a new home.
He has some problems, but he does know what he did wrong. He saw the video himself, and he's pretty disturbed by his own actions. He's going to be punished according to the law, and there is a law against abusing animals.
That was the boy's aunt right there. PAWS, the organization, says the investigation will release their findings this afternoon. Meantime, a plan to strengthen Kentucky's laws against dog fighting advanced in the State House. That bill would expand the crime of animal cruelty to include people who own, possess, breed, train, or even sell animals for the purpose of fighting. Supporters say Kentucky is the only state that doesn't have that kind of law. It will go back to the state Senate for consideration there. One person remains in serious condition this morning after a bus carrying nearly 24 college students crashed and rolled just outside of Louisville on I-65. Police say the Indiana Tech men's and women's bowling teams were on board, and they were coming to a tournament in Smyrna. The driver of the bus lost control, and it flipped onto its side after it had rolled a time or two. Some of those injured had to be airlifted to nearby hospitals. State police are still investigating. They say those students should all survive that crash. 3 of Tennessee's largest school districts need more money, and they say if they don't get it, they'll sue the state. Shelby County, Knox County, and Hamilton County, they're all considering a lawsuit against the state of Tennessee to get more money. Metro Nashville Public Schools might also join in that lawsuit, but they're going to wait a month before making a decision.
I understand their concerns. If you remember, the small schools threatened to sue us last year. So it's not I'm not certain it's so much of a large school, small school issue. It's about how do we fund education in Tennessee. I would argue we've had a good track record of doing that through some tough times, and we're going to continue to try to do that.
The governor also says it's not a matter of shifting money around. It's a matter of actually finding some new money. He says he hopes to meet with those school districts as early as next week to talk about that funding problem.